And we are live with session 11 of our Drowned Gods campaign. And we're just going to go ahead and get started. As always, everyone reset your hero points pool to 1. And who would like to give the recap for an extra hero point?
I feel like I give the recaps a lot.
Yeah, that's just giving you extra hero points.
I guess. I don't use them, though.
You need to start remembering to use them.
So.
I know, I'm just going to be super reckless this time.
Exactly.
Alright, so last time I jumped into the mysterious pit. Presumably got lost in a maze and spat out in a different dimension, a different world, a spirit world, if you will, where time works differently, and at least a version of me got spat out at some point, and I had some adventures, and I rode back somehow.
Yeah, there's something important that happened to you before you got spat out, though.
I got cursed by a witch at the middle of a maze. If I'm not mistaken.
That's to the best of your recollection true.
Yeah, we don't know though. Oh my gosh!
But what did the curse do?
Oh, it made me age fast.
Yeah, you're super old now, which is kind of gross. Nobody wants to look at you anymore.
Hey, listen, don't worry about it. But see, the thing is, there's also a part of me that's stuck somewhere in a maze, and I'm not really sure who I am as well. Also,
well, not so much a part of you. So what you figured out, from what you can remember, is that time works differently in the spirit world. So if you go you are aging faster, but not so much faster that the amount of time that has passed would make any sense for you to be this old. Otherwise, you would be dead by now. So clearly, you've spent many, many, many years in the spirit world. But time works differently there, and you are pretty sure that if you are able to go back in the way you came out and return to where you went in, you can get to yourself before you get cursed.
Yeah.
And also spend years in the spirit world.
Yeah, and it'll all turn out great, I'm sure. No, nothing bad.
Nothing at all.
Then my friends found me washed up on the beach, and they found the Seeker Stone, which was attuned to the new island. So we all packed up. Homeward Stone. So we all packed up our stuff and left. And found Papaya Island, full of puppies, and...
Alright, now you're in the future with things that haven't happened.
Oh, this is true. Yet. We don't know this yet. Yeah, so and then we found Papaya Island.
You haven't even found the island yet.
We're sailing.
We just
sailing that
conceived
way.
Of the island.
Yes, you as actual human beings who live in the 21st century and are my friends have come up with the island.
Wait a minute, I've been there before though, right?
All you remember is a beach.
Okay.
But that's all that your character actually remembers is a beach.
Yeah, you're seriously brain damaged. You don't even remember the puppies.
Oh.
Yeah, you are pretty sure that you have been on the ocean for a very long time and have drunk too much seawater.
Don't worry about it. It's all fine. I'm leading us the right. I'm certainly not leading us to certain doom.
No, and luckily you don't even need to know where the island is because the Homeward Stone has already been reattuned. So it's pointing the way there. Otherwise, y'all would be screwed.
Who's drinking copious amounts of seawater. And we'll all be fine.
Yeah, there is no way your character could navigate them back to the island right
now. Don't worry about it. It's all gonna be fine.
So from your perspective, that does kind of cover most of it. When you were found on the on the beach, everyone found you were in very bad condition. You had a horrible fever. Thankfully, you have been healed. Given potions and whatnot by the local witch doctor, Pele, and so you are now somewhat recovered, though physically you're still quite weak, in addition to being, very old. And you are going to be rolling at disadvantage for all physical activities now because you're super old. So anytime you have to dodge out of the way of somebody hitting you with a big stick, be ready to roll twice and take the worst of 2 out of that.
You're like the old guy in Squid Game now.
Brutal. Brutal.
And then also that night, as you were still somewhat delirious from the fever and were trying to leave in the middle of the night on your own, Sammy did come in and talked to you and got you to calm down and go back to sleep.
That's right, because I was like, I need to go, man.
Yeah,
I need to get freaking going.
And then I don't know how much this does permeate into your character's memory at all, but at least out of character, she did seem quite a bit less interested in Manawa Nui than she did the last time she visited him at night. So.
Wow. Wow, she
hey,
likes me through my body.
Right? When you get that wrinkly, it happens.
But also, we were very close to the entrance to the spirit world. Maybe there was some trickery involved.
Yeah, maybe there was some, malicious rat, so to speak. Who knows? That's just a hypothetical. That was involved in trying to kill me, but
dun, dun,
we'll never know.
And then, from everyone else's perspective, things did transpire a little bit differently. They saw you jump down into the pit and then absolutely nothing. So, discussing amongst themselves, they decided rather than jumping into the spirit world completely unprepared, they should return and at least talk to Pele first. Yeah. By the time they got back, the storm had passed. And they were headed to the beach to find Pele when they saw the bone outrigger canoe that you had sailed here in, and they rescued you. And then they had, once they brought you back and gotten you situated and had you healing, they had pushed through the evening once again. So even though it was actually early-ish for them, they decided to go to bed after they had kind of discussed what to do next, which they had decided to head to this island to try and save their friend Manawa Nui from the spirit world. And they went to bed. And the first one to wake up was Peepiopi, who went and you had a little adventure involving mushrooms and a certain elder. But yeah, so you and Loki Peepiopi and Loki actually bonded a little bit on their little adventure out in the forest picking mushrooms. Surprisingly. And then before you guys were left, you all gathered on the beach, and Palaka had already filled your ship so full of supplies that it could not have possibly sailed. And you guys actually had to unload quite a bit of the supplies that he'd put in there. You were also each given a special gift before leaving. So do people remember what they got?
I don't think I got anything.
Well, nobody cares about you, so.
You know what? I know.
I got a club.
If your friends had accepted you as being potentially Manawa Nui, you might have gotten something. But considering they are convinced that you're just some crazy old guy who knows Manawa Nui, yeah, you got nothing. Yes, Agalupu, you got a club of +1. So that's a nice little weapon. And Peepiopi, you got a couple of things. One of which you got given at the same time as everyone else. You got an obsidian knife, but then later Loki brought you off a little bit to the side, and he gave you something else rather interesting.
Yeah, I got that conch shell, Triton's conch.
Yes. So that I'm sure won't become useful or convenient at any point on this adventure in the ocean.
It'll probably be just like the hero points. We'll be in a dire situation, and I'll just be like, so I'm gonna roll survival,
Right? Oh man, guys, we have to do this exact thing that the conch shell would help with, but I don't remember it's there. Guess we'll all just get
Wait, who's
aground
got
now.
magic? Anyone have magic for this?
Right. And then Sammy was given something you guys still don't know what it was, some sort of folded object. And that was given to her by Pele. So that more or less catches us up to the current moment. So a couple of... Oh yes, one other thing that was decided is your roles on the ship. So we should go over those real quick to remind everyone. Jason, you are the navigator. You are going to be in charge of navigation checks. You are going to be managing the map and the ship's current location, which is the screen that you guys are currently on. And you are going to be the one who generally pilots the ship. Anna,
Hell yeah.
you are
I am the captain now. Well, not really. I'm the navigator.
Yeah, I was going to say, actually, not really.
That's the wrong quote, but you get it.
Yeah. And then Anna, you are the storyteller, so you are going to also help with managing the map. You are going to be in charge of keeping track of events and building the legends of your group and tribe. Then we have Abe. You
I definitely want to. This is just an aside as like a storyteller that I can actually do. Is like if we have like attacks by like a sea monster or something like that, I definitely want to draw like little icons and put them on the map too.
Nice. I like it. Abe, as the leader, you are going to be in charge of giving bonuses during combat, and theoretically, you call the shots. I'm
Theoretically.
stressed theoretically, though.
Guys, don't. I'm totally with it. Don't even question it. You know. They say sodium is good for your health, and yeah.
Exactly.
Wait, I am the captain now.
Wow.
Let's get him.
This is my boat, I think.
This is just
I think I killed something and carved it into a boat.
You did not make this boat.
Maybe.
You definitely
I don't know.
Did not make this boat. You are certain. That is one thing you can remember for sure, is that you did not make this boat.
Maybe.
And then Sammy is the quartermaster, so she is in charge of managing supplies and repairs on the boat. Speaking of the boat, if you guys check your journal section, there is a new guide there for you, which is your boats. If you open up that link, it will actually bring you to a spreadsheet. Everyone let me know when you have that open.
Neat. We have no weapon.
So you have no weapon on your attached to your boat. Obviously, all of your weapons are like ones you're carrying. You'll notice that right now the name is blank because you have not picked one for it, so that is something you'll need to decide. It is an outrigger, as we discussed last time, so movement options are the sail as well as using oars. So it's an outrigger canoe carved from a huge bone. It has sun-bleached sails, which I did not spell correctly. Sawls. Sun-bleached sawls. With faded red whorls. You'll notice that the speed is slow, so it's 50% of average, which I'll get to what that means in a minute. Weapons, none, so you have no weapons mounted on the ship. It requires one person to use it. Maximum people on it is 4. You could theoretically get more on it, but as you start to overload it, it will slow down, and eventually it will slow to 0, meaning it will sink. Modifications, so it has the option for 2 different modifications you can make to it. Both of them are empty right now. Storage, it has 4 slots for storage, all of which are filled with food at the moment. Durability, so you can see that it has 20 hit points. It has an armor of 5, meaning that if it gets hit, any damage done to it is reduced by 5. So it kind of makes sense where smaller things like, let's say, like arrows are going to do a minimal amount of damage, but something larger like a boulder that does a lot of damage in one hit is going to go past that 5 damage reduction very quickly. And then its armor class, so that's the difficulty to actually hit the thing, is 10 plus whatever skill the Navigator is using for their job, which in Jason's case, I believe, will be survival. Unless you wanted to make a case for something else.
Nope, that's it.
Sweet. So that is your ship.
I'd actually like to make a case for thievery since we're pirates now.
Are we pirates? Also, who are we pirating from? What are we pirating?
No, we're not pirates. That was a joke.
You're not
It's because I'm
pirates
gonna
yet.
mutiny you.
Oh, wow.
That's what
Wow.
pirates do.
Hey, I will blow this ship up.
The captain's going down with the ship. I like it.
Hey, and
Mutually assured destruction.
Any
There we
ideas
go.
on the name yet?
We could call
I'm gonna nix the bone train immediately, though. I know it's made of bone, but you know.
Well, I was gonna call it the salt cleaver, you know, because it like splits the water, like splitting salt in two.
What about
That-
Bebop? I just started
Bebop?
watching Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy
that the name
Bebop
of
is
their
very
ship?
good.
Cordelia, you picked the worst
Alright, well,
time.
give it some thought. Eventually, you'll need to name your ship. We can always do that in roleplay, because obviously your characters are going to need to name the ship. So the speed there, which says 50 slow, which is 50% of average. Average is 1 square per day. So that means that with the speed of your ship, it will require 2 days to cross every square. Papaya Island, you guys can actually move that wherever you want. I just stuck it somewhere that you could see it. Everyone should be able to control it. That is not its actual location. That is just there so that you have something to place whenever you are ready. Yeah. I think that covers most of the prep work. So, unless there are any questions, we can get under sail.
Let's go.
Alright,
yeah.
so Jason, as Navigator, let's get some D100 rolls. So, first of all, I would like you to roll for the starting weather.
Oh dear.
Cordelia.
Alright, 63. So, that puts it at dangerously windy.
Oh no, that's a bad start.
Yeah, so
Quick call out. I'm gonna put on the map for each island. I'm gonna put like I put an X in the green dot to show that we know where that island is, like for sure.
cool. Let me.
And then the other one I put a red X to say
Nice.
we have no clue where this island is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. So that doesn't show for anyone else.
If you click
Oh,
on it,
yeah,
it's
I
got
can
an
see
X
Yeah, I
it.
in
can
the.
see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you guys? Are you guys able to set like these? I'm assuming not.
I don't think so.
No, how'd you do that?
That's a thing.
Oh wait,
I
no,
can do
I
is-
can. I can.
Okay. Okay, so everyone can see those. So that's what I would do.
Okay, perfect. Okay, wait, not the X. Let's go yellow for onshore. And I didn't know this menu was here. Green. We got it. Okay.
And those show for everyone. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Cool. Wanted to make sure. And yes, outset aisle is there in that exact spot. It is correct. I can guarantee you that one. Also, the way that these maps are going to work is I have them as like a grid coordinates. So this is the starting map. So the top left-hand corner of this map is 0, 0. No idea if that will ever affect you guys at all, but it could as things get confusing. Yes, Papaya Island, you don't know where it is. I'm going to say because you guys are setting sail and the storm just passed that it is not dangerously windy. So let's go. Let's give it another roll.
Free rolling.
So GM fiat on that one. All right, 44. So it is windy, just windy, rough seas, but nothing super dangerous.
Just windy we like.
Indeed. Now, to see whether or not that is actually the case, let's see how favorable those winds are. So let's get another D100 roll. All right,
Ooh,
24.
unfavorable.
24 actually puts you in favorable winds.
Oh! See, shows what I know. It's my first time pirating.
All right, and then what we're going to do is every day there are separate tables that are going to determine the change from that current table, including an option to just re-roll that current table. So we'll see how this works. I made these charts up completely. I looked online for stuff that was similar, but there was nothing that really had sea weather like I was looking for. So we'll see how these work. Honestly, if it's just annoying and we're like, yeah, let's just do weather as only what it turns out to be according to the GM, we can do that too, where weather is only meaningful when I need there to be there's a hurricane on the horizon. So we'll see how that is. We'll see if this is fun. Additionally, right now, I would like sailing to be a fairly major part of things because, that's you're traveling between all these islands. I don't want it to just be okay, we traveled from point A to point B on our ship and nothing happened, or we got attacked by sharks and then that's it. But we'll see if it's fun. If it's not fun, being on a boat and doing sailing stuff, we will cut it down to the minimum.
Sounds great to me. We lost Abe.
No. Why has he abandoned us?
Because our dog picked the most inopportune time.
Alright, you're breaking up a lot. It sounds like he's taking the dog out.
Yeah, he's taking the dog out. Part of that might have been breaking up. Part of it was my brain not functioning.
Alright, so the old man has fallen asleep as soon as you got in the boat and you started sailing away.
Brutal. Absolutely brutal. But we have favorable winds, so who needs the old man?
Alright, Maiwa Nui, you're probably standing in the front of the ship doing your best Titanic impression? Or not Maiwa Nui. Akalupu.
Akalupu?
I meant Akalupu.
Yes.
Yeah, so you guys are underway, and thankfully the winds are favorable. So let's go ahead and get a survival check to see if you can figure out where you are and where the island is, in relation.
Okay, survival check. Let's go. 23!
Nice. All right, so you are able to pick up your location very quickly. Clearly, someone has been teaching you how to navigate the ocean, by the various signs available. Who was it?
Axolotl dad.
Oh, that's entirely possible. So yeah, so you're just you immediately have this feeling of okay, well, I know this, the sun, well, it's this time of year and we're this close to the equator, maybe not in those exact details, but you're able to figure out based off of all those your heading pretty quickly. And also it's pretty straightforward to try and find the island because you have the crystal, so that is helping quite a bit. And it is currently east northeast of you.
East, northeast. So maybe here. We'll guesstimate.
All right. One thing I will point out is that your ship is quite small. So one storage slot can hold enough food for the maximum crew for one day.
One
so you have
slot.
4 days worth of food.
Which means we can
for
only
one
go
day.
2 squares. Right?
What did you say?
So that means we can only go 4 squares before we run out of, or 2 squares before we run out of food.
Now you can ration it, and get that.
Wait, so each square takes how long? I
2
think I
days.
missed that.
So
Each
your
square
speed
takes
is
2 days.
slow. So average is 1 square per day. So you are at slow 50% of average. So each square is going to take you 2 days.
So hopefully it's just there then.
Yeah. Now, because you have favorable winds, if you wanted to also add in a bit of rowing here and there, you could do a whole square in 1 day.
Oh, that would be taxing though.
Yes. The other option is you could ration your food, which would mean that you couldn't row or really push it without having to make checks, but you could spread your food out to make it last twice as long. You're just going to be pretty hungry by the end.
Sounds smart, Akalupu.
But I like the boat snacks.
I guess that's up to the quartermaster though. Who is Sammy?
I'm definitely not Akalupu.
Well, I guess normally I would ask the captain, but he's
I'm here.
asleep and
I don't know what you're talking about.
oh, he woke up.
Been here the whole time. Totally didn't come in late.
Yeah, hopefully you feel better after your nap. So
I
we were
have
just
no idea what you're talking about. I am always awake.
we were just discussing. Right now we probably have rations for 4 days. So we can either use the rations to push harder to try and get to our destination, or we can, well, ration the rations and try to make them last longer. Now, your fuzzy brain, trying to think how long it was since you were on that beach, you're thinking somewhere between a week and 2 weeks, but a lot of that was just being caught in a storm and not really just like sailing very effectively. But you were obviously able to carry, like, if you could find the food, more food than you can fit with 4 people and food.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just thinking. Now we're underway, correct?
Correct. You have left the island. You are, let's say it's almost evening, so that's why you're discussing food now, is it's like about time to pass out dinner.
Akalupu's getting hangry.
Argo's just banging his head on the mast.
Is the like has the stone changed at all, or is it still just pointing in one direction that we're going? If that question makes sense.
All signs pointed north by northeast, Captain.
Oh, sorry, did I say north by northeast? I meant east by northeast.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
You said that. That's what I meant.
Yes, more east than north.
Headings are consistent, Captain.
So it hasn't swiveled at all, Sonny.
Oh. All stationary. No squiggles.
I think we need to conserve our... I don't know why I'm turning into a pirate.
You know, PPOP just spoke it into existence, and now it is true.
I guess.
You guys are already have, like, you know, peg legs and hooks, even though those weren't there in the last shot.
I mean, like, I am a very old man who's washed up aboard his wrecked ship. It's kind of pirate-esque.
Yeah.
And now we're setting off to find a treasure of some sort. I think we need to conserve our food.
And then technically, I should point out, you guys were technically here, right, on the outset isle, and now after a day's travel, you're somewhere in here.
Did the island just move?
Yes, because I had to move it to be able to move you out from under it.
Oh, okay. I thought like our progress, like I thought we went backwards in progress.
No. I just had to move
so
it away and then back.
The choice is either to go sail day and night and expend 4 days of rations.
Well, mostly the difference is going to be rowing. Sailing day and night, I mean,
Yeah, and
is
especially
like fairly
And
easy.
we've got a
You just have to
favorable
sail
wind.
out.
If
Yes.
I'm not mistaken, right? The wind. When I left, you said that we had quite a stern wind.
Favorable winds, Captain.
And
All
yes,
right.
they are currently the current weather is strong winds but not dangerous, and they are favorable.
All right. I think we steady as she goes and ration out our food.
I like
Alright.
this plan.
So as you guys had been talking about that, Sammy then turns around back to the group. We actually might have more of a problem than I was originally thinking.
Akalupu, did you eat the food?
don't worry about it.
Well, I mean some of it, but not much. He's been actually surprisingly good for Akalupu. But actually, it seems that they didn't pack any water. And thinking back, yeah, Pawalaka had just stacked the entire thing, much as Akalupu would have in his if he'd been in the same place, with meat.
Oh, that's great.
There
Great.
is no water. And you're
Yeah, we
already
don't know how to
days.
create. I take it we don't know how to create water through like evaporating salt water and stuff.
Do like a magic thing that we
Yeah.
can like purify
Let
the
me look.
salt out.
Yeah, can your meat purification process also work on salt water, Sammy?
That is a good question. Let's look at the rules for that ability. Alright, so let's go back to Drown Gods. Let's open up Sammy and spells.
Oh, it's empty.
Which one? Stabilize, light, no direction, tanglefoot. Where'd it go? Maybe I never actually equipped it like I meant to. Alright, well, let's go to the spellbook then.
I wouldn't have like learned any new tricks being around for so long. Would I have?
You don't even remember if you know your old tricks.
Oh, this is true. Dang. Dang, man. Don't get old. It sucks. Where was this spell that she used last time? Purify food and drink. There it is. So you remove toxins and contaminants from food and drink, making them safe to consume. The spell doesn't prevent future contamination, natural decay, or spoilage. 1 cubic foot of liquid, which is roughly 8 gallons. Yeah, sounds like that would work on seawater to me. Well, there we go. We saved room for food, and we don't even have to worry about it.
Okay,
Because
well,
otherwise, I was gonna say like hard to the oars, my friends.
Sammy, are you gonna be strong enough to do that for the whole journey?
yeah, I should be able to do that every day easily.
Okay.
The main problem though is I don't know, I guess getting it all in one place, because I can only do it to one group and we don't have any large containers really. Enough to probably get us by though, but I think we're going to be pretty thirsty. I can maybe make a couple of gallons. If that, like, I don't know, what's your biggest container? Because you got some decent stone containers that the old man actually brought with him on the boat. So
Big container is the bottom of the boat.
decent enough.
No,
It's gotta be in like a yeah, just flood your boat. That's smart. But yeah, we'll say it's about she can probably make like a gallon. I feel like you could probably find a container that big of some sort. Which is enough to get you by, but you guys are gonna be definitely dehydrated by the time you get anywhere. But it would keep you alive.
It's too bad there's no pollution yet in this world. It'd be pretty easy to find like a bottle in the ocean.
Right? Just a giant like I don't know. I was trying to think of something funny. A tub of
milk carton.
Yeah, there we go. A milk carton. That wouldn't be any larger though, is the problem.
Yeah.
Just like a 3-gallon plastic tub of shrimp.
There we go.
All right.
What Akalupu needs to do is Akalupu needs to jump in the ocean, find a shark, kill the shark, and then we can make a water thing from its pie.
Right. Yeah, you just need to get its bladder.
Exactly.
All right, Akalupu, this is why we have you.
No food until you bring a shark back.
Akalupu has probably already been looking out for sharks this entire time. I can guarantee it.
And literally anything else that's alive in the ocean.
All right. So yeah, so Sammy is able to use the spell on your largest container, which she passes out the food from that container, and then she is able to purify that water. So you guys have enough to get through the night, no problem. And then she starts using prestidigitation to cook the food. And oh man, you do that does tickle your memory, and you're like, I know how to do that.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
What are we doing about the whole eating situation?
We have food.
No, since Sammy can't eat in sight of us.
Well, you guys face to one side of the boat, and Sammy faces to the other side of the boat. You just can't be able to see each other.
Come on.
Okay.
Come on, Akalupu.
But that's fine. It's a legitimate question.
No, it is a very legitimate question.
I know if we're gonna get like struck down by lightning at some point.
Yeah, you don't want to get struck by lightning at sea. That's usually a bad thing.
Yeah, so don't turn around during mealtime.
It's a good way to also keep Akalupu from, overeating.
You just make sure all the extra food is on Sammy's side.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm so hungry, but I'm too scared.
All right, so you guys have made it through your first day. PPOP, you are quite confident in your location being accurate at this point. Speaking of which, there needs to be a degree of uncertainty about whether or not you know where you are. Do you want me to just keep the difficulty of the rolls secret, because they will also change with weather and other effects, and then you roll it yourself, or do you want me to roll it for you and then you just have no idea?
Well, if certainty, right? If it's about certainty, then it would be how certain the characters are, right? So if PPOP is uncertain about where we're at, then he's not gonna be like, guys, I know exactly where we're at.
Unless he gets a critical fail.
I mean, this is true.
At which point he might. But yeah, how do you want to handle that? Do you want to have a rough idea of how confident you are just by, I rolled 19, that's probably high enough? Or do you want me to roll it and then I can give you an idea of how confident your character is?
I think you should roll it.
Alrighty, we'll switch.
Kind of like the perception checks are working, right?
Yeah. Alright, so that is your first day. So let's get a roll on the weather chart. So we're going to need 2 D100 rolls to see how the weather changes. Alright, so a 72 on the weather change. So that means that the wind has calmed down and it has gotten wetter. So at this point, you have gusty winds and it is foggy.
Wow.
Well, isn't that a good thing? Wait, shouldn't we be getting better weather?
Why?
Because it's
I think
getting
it's-
wetter?
No, because if it's 72, isn't that better than, like, something lower than a 72?
Is it?
I
think it's
assumed
just a table, Abe. I think it's just
It's like a table.
there's a
so
number
there's
and it corresponds to the type of weather.
Oh, that makes sense.
Alright, so the wind has calmed down somewhat, and it is starting to get foggy. And then 74 on the favorability of the wind is going to re-roll entirely. So let's get another D100 and let's see how favorable these new winds are.
Oh, I thought it was 74 again.
62. Alright, 62 is somewhat favorable.
Nice.
So at this point, the wind has calmed and it is only somewhat favorable. So that is going to put you down right at your average speed. So you are down from making pretty much an entire square in one day to today you would be only making your normal half square unless you want to be rowing.
We've slowed down significantly, Captain, but we're still on course.
And now let's get that survival check to see if you can figure out where you are.
Hell yeah. That one was, in Hero Lab. Survival.
Oh wait, I roll that now. We just talked about that and I've already
Oh,
forgotten.
that's that roll. Okay.
Alright. So I'm gonna put you all on the stage so it's easier to find you. And PPOP, your survival is a +6. So let's get a secret roll on that.
Oh, but if it's a secret roll, I can't choose when to use my assurance ability to guarantee a 14.
Well, you can. You would just say that you want to use it, and then I won't roll it. It's just 14.
And then I still won't know how good that is.
Yeah, you still won't know whether that passes or not.
Interesting. Okay, that's a lot of choices.
You good with
Tricky.
me doing a secret roll?
Secret roll it is.
Alright, secret roll. Alright. So you are pretty sure that you're still in that first square.
Huh.
So that would make sense because you made most of that first day's travel, but not all of it because you didn't row at all. So even with favorable winds, you're not quite at average speed. And then today, you're definitely going slower.
How many days of if we ration it, how many days about can we make?
Rationing it, so that Sammy's like, actually, I mean, this kind of works in our favor that they didn't give us any water because that left us more room for food. We actually have twice as much as I thought because I expected, there to be water in there.
There to be water.
So we actually have enough water that we could, or not enough water, enough food that we could fairly comfortably make it 8 days even without rationing.
So that means we could row and stuff, right?
Yes.
And eat.
And eat, yes. Also that morning, Sammy says, "Hey guys, I think I've actually got a solution to our whole water problem, even better than just purifying it. Last night, Chi-Chi taught me a new spell. And so she holds out
That's
her
classy.
hands, cupped together, like if you're, we're trying to scoop water, and water just starts bubbling up out of them.
What?
And she says, "Yeah, I could just make fresh water like this. I think I should be able to make more than enough for everybody." So she now has the spell Create Water. I think is what it's called.
We need to set up like a massage table with like one of those head pillows so you can just lay your head back and then she just squirts it into your mouth like a soda machine.
Yeah, exactly. Or in this case, because it doesn't need to be all in one place, you can use multiple containers to hold it. But yeah, that is a different spell that she can. It's a level 1 spell, so she can cast it once per day, or more if she has more than one preparation. But it can make enough water for all of you, so 1 preparation per day should be good.
Neat. Very good. Very. I say, given our recent turn of luck, that we should press forward hard at the oars and hard and see if we can't get there. Why are you laughing?
Akalupu.
It's just a lot of hardness.
It's okay. Take your time, old man. You can get it out.
Alright, Akalupu and Manawanui, let's get strength checks from you guys.
Wait, why am I
to
getting
row.
a strength check?
I mean, it's you or Sammy. Pipiopi is kind of busy.
I guess that's right. Cash target. All right.
And remember, you're at disadvantage, so roll twice and take the worst.
Where's... Oh, gosh, target. All right. You know what?
Because you're old.
Can I help you?
All right, Akalupu.
What's my strength check?
Let me tell you.
You have a strength of... Let's see. Character. +2.
Okay. Akalupu. You got a 10.
He says +2.
Yeah.
I just wanna.
You take your own roll instead of letting Abe roll for you every time?
Wow.
Well, I just
Hey,
figured
babe,
this is
why
gonna be
don't you roll
something
for
that I
me?
can. Like I figure I'm gonna roll this a few times. Like it's easy to do in the chat this way. I don't know if that makes sense.
Let me go back to me.
But yeah, I'll do my rolls.
Cool.
Oh, hold on. I gotta roll. I rolled twice, right?
Yes, you roll twice and you take the worst.
Okay, that's weird. I got 2 twos.
Alright, well, 2 it is. Alright, so, Akalupu, Mawanui, what was your survival roll again? It was pretty... Or no, I rolled it this time. So, who knows how well you kept up with the fact that one side of your ship was rowing way harder than the other. Presumably you had them switch back and forth, though. Whenever you noticed your heading was getting too far off. But, with that being the case, you're actually fairly confident that you are in this square instead, because of the extra rowing and stuff.
Are we still on a good heading, Mr. I'm sorry, son. Could you remind me of your name again?
My name is PPOP.
That's right, Mr. PPOP. Are we still on? Are we still headed toward the island?
We're making good progress. We need to bear slightly to the port side. I don't know what that means. It just came to me.
Okay.
That was a thing I just made up.
We need to go that way to a more northeasterly heading, I believe, according to the stone. Let me just double check with the game master. That is correct, right? Based on the map, because that was a guess where I put that island.
Yeah, so right now, it definitely does seem to be more north than it was before.
So yeah, still doing good. Just bearing left.
So at this point, I would just call it north. No, it's almost northeast now. It's like really
Northeast.
close. It's like just on the edge where it could be northeast or northeast.
So yeah, we're going that way.
Alrighty. Good. Very good.
Or no, I forgot to update your real location on my map compared to your supposed location. It's northeast for sure.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, we're a little bit more off course than I initially suspected. I just re-looked at this stone and yeah, no offense, old man, but we're gonna need you to row harder. Take up that side now. We're gonna adjust our heading and try to account for this in the future.
Well, young man, steady at the stern, whatever that is. Keep using like these sailing phrases, but I'm like, oh wait, I don't know what this is.
I know this is a.
Is this
This is day 2,
stern?
right?
Yes, this is day 2.
Oh, you're updating the log.
Yes.
There we go.
Alright. And then let's get a perception check. Who would be like looking where you're going? I guess since you're normally that would be Akalupu, but since he's busy rowing, it'd probably be PPOP.
Sure. I'm looking around. Absolutely.
Why would Akalupu be looking where we're going?
Because he's the one who sits in the front of the boat looking for stuff to hunt.
Oh, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Perception roll. Crit fail.
Good gravy.
We're dead.
Did you just say yes?
Alright. So looking off at the horizon,
This is
you're
what
pretty
happens when I'm
sure
distracted by maps.
looking off in the horizon in the direction of the island, the way that the homeward stone is pointing, you are pretty sure you see the island itself there on the horizon.
Oh no.
Lad ho!
Woo woo!
At what time is this? Like night?
It is late evening, so the sun would be setting at this point.
And correct me if I'm wrong. We have to circle the island 3 times.
Let's look at.
While chanting.
Let's see. Setting. Here we go. Upon finding a new island, you must circle it 3 times while chanting before you can land. So theoretically, if you're able to get to the spirit world without landing, you don't have to circle the island 3 times. That's theoretically.
I say we're going. We.
Akalupu says we have a party to eat all the meat since the island's right there.
No, we shall not be doing that. That is not on the itinerary. I say we wait.
Mutiny!
Wow. I will do something. I don't know what I can do, but something will happen. I will purify your food, son. I will putrefy your food.
I don't think you could do that with prestidigitation. You could make it taste horrible.
I can make it taste rotten.
Just make everything taste like soap.
Yeah.
Just be like, it's cilantro. It's all in your imagination. Really, it just tastes like
Don't worry about it,
cilantro.
guys. Like, oh, that's so weird. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I say we spend the night out here, and in the morning, we begin charting the edges of the island.
Alright, so you guys settle in for the evening. However, one thing you notice, PPOP, you take watch. The sun sets, and in that spot where you saw the island, you actually see a purple glowing light, very faintly. And as the evening goes on, it's growing larger. And
guys,
it is directly in your heading.
Does anyone else see this light?
I'm gonna get up and look at it with my old man eyes and squint.
You do see a blurry purple blob of light.
Akalupu, wake up. We must move the ship, the boat, the thing.
Why are you waking me up? I'm still awake.
Oh, I thought we were asleep.
I don't fall asleep like you, old man.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious, like, as soon as the sun went down, you could start to see this glow. So.
Okay. We must move the ship. Get to your oar rowing station, Akalupu.
I mean, the ship is currently moving. You don't have, like, an anchor to stop yourself from moving.
This is true. Well,
so you are currently, assuming the sails are out, you are still sailing toward it. Did you bring the sails down?
I would assume we did, since we wanted to stay here and not leave.
So you were only slowly drifting in that direction with the wind and whatever prevailing currents there are.
And it seems that the purple blob is tracking with us, right?
It is moving toward you.
Okay.
But you are also moving toward it.
Alright, so we're gonna get on the oars. Akalupu.
Okay.
Oars, Akalupu. And we're gonna try and steer out of its way.
Alright. That is going to put you out of the way of heading toward the island.
What if it's the great tree? What if it's good?
I don't think that's the great. There's a lot of things on that island, boy.
Alright. Well, you row for some time until you are fairly certain that it is growing smaller. But unless you plan to row all night, it seems unlikely that you will get, like, completely away from it.
But so it's following us, right? It's not just like heading out in a random direction.
It's hard to tell in the dark. So if it's not clear whether whether the currents are bringing you toward it, or it is moving toward you, or what exactly.
What does that there conch do, boy?
I don't know. I never tried it. You want me to blow in it?
I can't hurt.
Okay, I blow into the conch shell.
Alright.
And I know, out of character, that this now gives all of us a +2 to swim bonus, and we can breathe underwater.
That might be useful. Depending on what happens.
Do we feel any different after blowing the conch shell? Like, how do we know this?
Yeah, so you definitely feel, I guess Manawanui or Sammy would be able to examine it as a magical item and tell you. So you blow in it, and they're able to figure out from the magic that happens. They're like, oh, it's a, it seems like physical magic that improves our ability to swim, and I think we could breathe underwater with this.
Well, only one way to find out. I push Akalupu in.
Long. Akalupu, you have been pushed in.
I'm holding my breath and, like, swimming. Do I see anything?
So you go under the water. You actually are, I don't know, visibility underwater is fairly limited. You can still see the purple glow.
Ooh.
It seems to extend actually some ways under the water.
Akalupu, can you breathe? But you're underwater, so you hear.
We're gonna go with cartoon logic when it comes to communicating underwater. So it's like slightly garbled, but you can do it.
Akalupu's gonna try it, I guess. like a little bit. He's gonna put like a little bit in his mouth and just kind of like See if it feels right.
Alright, and somehow, yes, as soon as it like enters your mouth, it doesn't. It's not even water in your mouth. Like it goes into your mouth and it just feels like air.
Yeah, so I'm gonna breathe and like swim around. I'm gonna pop up and be like, "This is awesome, guys!"
How long does this spell last? I forget. Let's see. Magic items. Tritons. Conch. Note. Bulk usage. Activate. Is it just until you deactivate it? Oh, for the next minute. Okay. You have 1 minute.
Oh. Well, maybe we blew it a bit hastily.
You could use it once per day, though.
Okay.
Okay, Akalupu, better get back in the boat. Here,
Yeah.
I'll give you some motivation. And I toss a slab of meat in the air, like above the side of the ship.
And
The canoe.
Akalupu, like a dolphin, like swims out of the water and like jumps up in the air and grabs it and lands on the boat.
Like in the Harry Potter movie in the Triwizard Cup when he flies out. Choo!
Actually, it doesn't list any limit, so theoretically you could just blow it every minute.
Oh.
Seems like. It'd
There
be
we
pretty
go.
annoying, but you could do it.
We'll wait until the thing gets closer. So I'm just gonna. Am I aware that I can like sense magical stuff?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna like reach out with my magic feelers and see what I like sense from this thing.
So you sense something actually off to the west of you, something very large and very powerful, but not in the direction of the purple glowing light.
Like, is the thing to the west coming towards me? Or is that something I know?
You would have to observe it under more than one occasion to know that.
And I feel like it's also harder on the ocean because like everything's moving.
But you do recognize it once again as being similar to the magic from the key.
Key. We need to go west!
Just gets dragged to the edge of the map and falls off the end of the world looking for the key.
Wait, what isn't west where we came from?
Correct.
Oh, so that must be back to our own island.
It is not directly in the direction of your island, to the best of your reckoning. I mean, you can point that direction and ask PPOP. He's the only one who has any sense of direction right now. You just are like, it's that way, but the purple thing is that way.
PPOP, did we come from that direction? I'm gonna point in the direction of the...
I mean, sorta, but not quite. That is the general direction, but I would not say that you are pointing towards our volcano.
How rapid is this thing, like, approaching us?
What, the purple thing?
Yeah.
Not very quickly, but it's hard to tell because it's night and all you can see is a light. So there's really, other than it growing slightly larger and brighter, there's no real indication.
You know what? I didn't die last time. I went towards something that might have been good or bad. So I'm gonna put it up to I'm gonna put it to the crew, guys. What do you guys think we should do? I think we should go towards the purple light.
I'm with the captain.
Akalupu's just along for the ride, guys. And the meat. Mostly the meats.
Then Oh, Mr. I was calling him a helmsman, but I don't know what that is. Mr.
He's the navigator.
Mr. Navigator. If you will, do we have a rudder, or is it just like?
Yeah, you're using an oar out the back, basically. So
Okay.
you have a few extra oars. You probably have like 4 oars. And one of them is a specialized oar that it's shaped kind of like a hockey stick, honestly, but it goes in the back and it's got kind of attached with like a loop of rope, and you use that to steer. But it's
Mr. Akalupu, put the sails down. Wait, is the wind blowing towards the island?
It was mostly favorable, so it is not pointing directly in the way that you need it to go, but it is like there close enough. Like it'll move you in the right direction.
Okay. Mr. Akalupu, set the sails.
I don't know what that means.
Set the sails.
Set them on fire?
Hoist
I'll
rope.
do
Pull.
it myself. Yeah, exactly.
This whole thing can be run by one person. PPOP could just like grab a rope next to him and put the sails down.
Akalupu, you heard the captain. Pull rope.
Pull rope. Akalupu can do that. Akalupu's pulling the rope that's closest to him.
All right.
Now,
you have just
this is the hard part.
That's the rope that holds the boat together. The whole thing just unravels like a sweater.
There you go. Wrong rope.
Rope lever.
Right,
this
so
rope. No, now the really hard part. Akalupu, do you know how to tie a knot?
A good question. I think probably Akalupu knows how to do that.
Akalupu knows one knot. He can do like the really basic like over under knot.
Well, I don't think we want that kind of knot. So, I'm actually gonna walk over and be like, thank you, coming to my senses. And I'm going to set the sail so that it's angled towards the island.
All right. So you guys head out into the night, and now that you are heading toward it, you can see the purple glow is growing much more rapidly. And as you approach closer, you can see that it is not, in fact, an island. It is actually a giant glowing, what's it called? Like those Man of War? That's it. I think that's the right jellyfish.
No, the jellyfish.
Oh!
It looks like a brain.
And
with
you can
tentacles.
You can see that its glowing has actually attracted a number of fish that are now stuck down in its dangling tentacles, and you could theoretically try to get those fish by fighting it, or you could just avoid it. It is not very fast.
Huh. I mean, like, we've got a lot of food. Right? Like, we're not hurting for food.
Not yet.
We don't know anything about this creature. It could be the Kraken for all we know. Let's steer clear.
I agree with my young friend. Let's I say we get.
You're not even gonna just like poke it with a stick. I mean, as you gotten closer, it seems pretty docile. So if you want to like study it a little bit as you sail past it,
I'm gonna. What do I have? I have a staff. Do I have my staff still?
Yeah. Or at least you have a staff. You probably have a new one. Or no. Let's say you have one, and it's a really weird staff that's like bent and at the end in this like impossible curly Q shape. and it has what looks like faces in all of its bark.
That's not good.
So
I'm going to take my staff and poke it with the end of it.
Alright. So yeah, you guys are able to play around with it a little bit, and yeah, you learn about jellyfish. So congratulations, you have knowledge jellyfish now.
Knowledge jellyfish.
So you are familiar with the concept of what a jellyfish is, how its tentacles have poison that can paralyze smaller animals, and with enough of it, even larger creatures. And you also know that they're not very good for eating. Thanks, Takaluka.
Can we take their glowiness?
I vote that we name it a yucky moss fish.
Yucky.
Because it looks like moss that grows out of a tree.
I don't think that.
And they are
moss
yucky.
glows.
I'll take your word for it.
Does that moss glow?
I don't know.
I like.
Say a glowy yucky moss fish.
Alright, so you guys now have knowledge glowing yucky moss fish. So let's get rolls for the next day's weather. So Jason, let's get those 1d100s. Alright, a 44 is going to put the it is once again become calmer and wetter. So you are now down to a slight breeze. And it's rainy.
Can we set out things to like collect the water?
You can.
Right, so
You don't
I
need to,
I'm going
because
to
Sammy is
do
making
that.
plenty of water, but you're like, but what if Sammy
Yeah, but
dies
doesn't
because I
that,
push
like,
her
she can only-
overboard?
No, but that's limited though, right?
She can make enough for all four of you to have one day's worth of water.
Like comfortably?
Yes. So
Oh, okay.
the old spell, just like purifying the water, the main problem was finding a good container to do it. Now that she can just make water pour out of her hands, she is able to make enough for everyone comfortably every day.
Oh, okay.
Now, if the group was larger, it would be harder.
But like, I don't think we're gonna add anybody soon, and if we do,
Yeah. Now it is
They know
that
their
does mean
place.
that
They
she's
came
using
last.
up like 2 of her spell slots, one for creating water, and the other one for keeping your meat from turning rancid. So that's like
Alright,
2 of her level 1 spell slots every day.
So we're gonna collect some water still then, just in case in the future we need some extra reserves, so that she can aid in other areas. Because she only has 3, correct?
3 level 1 spell slots?
Yeah.
I believe so. Let me add her to the stage. That's not what I meant to do. This button. Add to stage. Yes. Now we can I can see how many slots she has. Spells. Yes, she has 3 level 1 slots.
Cool.
Alright. And then, what was it, 70 something? No, 86 for the change to the winds. 86 is to re-roll again. Need to roll lower on that wind change.
What can I say? Just roll too high.
I know. You're a real high roller. So let's get one more 1d100 and let's see what the wins are nowadays. 67. With a 67, you are still in somewhat favorable.
Alright.
So let's get that navigation check. See if you can figure out a little bit better where you are. Oh, I guess first, how are you sailing? Well, I don't know. I guess you do need to know where you are first, and then you would decide how you're sailing. So
Yeah.
let's get the navigation check. You had a +7?
6.
+6.
No, I'm pretty sure it's a 7.
All right. And you did want me to do a secret roll. You weren't going to take 14?
Correct.
Alrighty.
I feel like that was a hint.
You don't want to take 14.
I mean, hey, for all you know, both of those would result in a failure, right?
Well, we'll eventually find out. When we're like, oh, we're in the middle of the ocean. I guess those 14s aren't good enough.
I mean, eventually you'll get to the island. Like, that's one thing that you have for sure, is you know the direction of the island. The question is, will you know where you are accurately enough to place the island in the right spot, or will your map now be wrong and you're going to have to try and, like, figure that out when you need to go somewhere else? Alrighty, so let's do that. So the island is at this point mostly due north of you, and you believe you are there. Or I guess technically you're not there unless you head north. Assuming you head north for the day, right?
Yeah.
Which is the direction of the island. So, like, right now you think you're, like, there-ish.
Right.
Northern direction it is. I almost said Akalupu set the sails, but then I was like,
We've been through this
we've
before.
been, yeah, exactly.
All right. So, are you going to use extra power or just go with the wind? At this point, to remind you of the weather, you are sitting at slight breeze with rain and somewhat favorable. So that would leave you at your speed, more or less, probably a little bit slower than half a block per day.
I say we go for it.
Row,
Akalupu.
row, row your boat strongly down the ocean.
Akalupu.
Yes, old man.
Pick up your oar, man.
All right.
Turn the ship.
So you head north throughout the day. Nothing too interesting happens here. In fact, the oceans are surprisingly devoid of too much going on in this area. But you are actually seeing more activity as you are getting further away from Outset Isle. You're noticing more animals and, especially more larger animals, such as that jellyfish as you're getting further away. Closer to the island, and even growing up, you had not seen pretty much any of that. Like, you haven't seen much anything larger than a dolphin ever. But now you are starting to see a few things. Every once in a while, you'll glimpse, perhaps a shark or, some unknown leviathan under the water, just a black shape moving along. And you sail for days. So let's get another check to see if you know where you are at the end of the day. All right. So as you are progressing, you sail through the night. Food and water are handed out as per usual, and people are exhaustedly, those who were rowing, going back in. And you were able to keep switching Akalupu and Manawanui's sides of the boat regularly, and surprisingly kept them on course. And as the stars are coming out and you're getting set up to sail through the night, you spot a very helpful star, the Northern Star, in fact, and half asleep, remembering something that your spirit animal Ka had taught you, you were like, wait a second. No, I was wrong about where I was. I'm not here. I'm actually, get my mouse, here. So, or no, is that right? I think that's wrong. I need to find my map. This is going to be very confusing. Alright, I'm actually here.
Oh, good gravy.
Something there-ish.
Slightly off course.
The island is still due north of you.
Oh, okay.
But yes, you are definitely further to the east than you thought you were. So PPOP, you get everything set to sail through the night. Shifts change as per normal. And then as you guys are awakening on the next day, you see very surprisingly near to you as the sun rises, there for certain this time is Papaya Island.
Plateau.
So you can see it's craggy, stony shores. Oh, speaking of which, let's just take a moment to give Anna super kudos for these islands. Like, look at these. There's Outset Island. Here's Papaya Island.
Yo.
Yeah, these are really good.
I like it.
I had fun.
Alright, so you have arrived on the shores of Papaya Island. It's craggy cliffs of unusual shapes, kind of surrounding a more verdant center of the paw. And you can see, if you were to head directly into it, there is a protected bay, though the currents around it are very strong. But yeah, you are like maybe an hour from getting there.
Alrighty. I say once we get there, we do our... Wait, do I remember any kapus? I don't think I remember kapus.
No, you don't. You don't remember anything about the Kapu.
We must... Why are we facing this way when we eat? What's going on? You guys are weird.
Also, you are here, so the island, if it's like an hour away, is in the square.
I say we circle. No, I'm sorry. I say we go and make landfall. We still have most of the day we can spend exploring.
No.
I'm sorry. What?
We gotta circle the island first. We gotta map the island. And we gotta do our chants. It's part of the ritual of the exploration.
Now's not the time to be OCD, my boy.
It's not OCD.
Treasure is now at hand.
Do you want to get struck by lightning?
Do you want to get struck?
Wow, this violent old man all of a sudden.
With lightning? I have some vague memory of electrocuting some boy.
I don't think anyone's scared of your noodle arms.
No, you remember?
I do remember.
Oh.
I do remember.
But nobody knows about that except Manawanui.
Yeah. I just have this feeling that like my hugs are very strong or something.
You could almost say it's a shocking experience.
Let us. So I'm gonna keep insisting that we land.
Guys, back me up here. This. I'm not making this up.
Yeah,
We're literally gonna get struck by lightning.
Or something. Lightning is one of many possibilities, but yeah.
No.
Here, come over here, Manawanui. I'll explain Kapu to you. It's very important to our tribe. You see, and anyway, she's gonna go and she's going to teach you Kapu.
I guess.
All right, so you guys begin sailing around the island. It'll probably take you about half the day to do so. So it'll be
And
around
chanting.
noonish.
Ah,
Yes.
ooh, wah, hee, ha, ho, ho, ho. Ah, ooh, wah, hee, ha, ho, ho, ho.
Yeah.
There you go.
Straight.
And you are henceforth known as Shark Bait.
Shark bait.
These weird. Straight.
All right, so you circle the island, and as you draw close and begin to circle the island, you can see the shores, and in fact, that what looked like a secluded bay has rather voracious currents around it. You can see them all going in, and as you pass the front of it, you actually see that there is a huge whirlpool sucking in the water in that area. And we are going to need a navigation check from PPOP to not get sucked in.
Is that the 100 or is that a secret one?
That one you can roll yourself, but that is the +6.
Okay, give me the guaranteed 14. I don't trust
Alright.
myself.
So you would get a 14, and you find yourself slowly being drawn in. So we are going to now need some strength checks from PP, or not from P. Well, I don't know who's rowing. Who wants to give strength checks to not get sucked in?
Oh, I'll give a strength check.
Cool. Because
I'm just kidding.
sadly, the difficulty was 15, so your 14 just
no.
not cutting it. But you can be one of the strength checks if you want to not have old man strength rowing your boat.
All hands on deck.
Hey, I rolled 2 16s.
Because my strength check was +2, right?
It was.
Nice.
And
All right, we got a 21.
I rolled 2 16s. I don't know why I keep rolling double numbers.
That's funny.
But like, yeah, because last time I got 2 2s, right?
Yes. All right.
That's
so
weird.
so old man strength does actually come through between him and Akalupu. Manawanui, you don't even have to like get on there. You're able to get out of it, and you know now to keep your distance a little bit more when you go past that part of the island. The rest of it, you can also see somewhere past that secluded bay. You can see an actually verdant section of the island, as well as a huge tower overlooking the whirlpool that seems to dominate the landscape around it. Going further on, you can see 4 smaller islands that are extremely craggy and rocky. And you loop around it 3 times, doing your chant, and you are now free to land. So, we've been going for about an hour and a half. Do we want to wrap up now, or do you want to land on this island first?
You all know what I want to do, but we gotta pay tribute to the super capus or something.
Personally, I'm kind of tired. Like, I can keep going if people want to, but I'm kind of tired.
And they say that old men have no energy.
I'm down to call it.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's
That
go
was
ahead.
a fun sailing session. It made me want to play Sea of Thieves.
Right? We need to play that again. It's been a long time.
Agreed.
Alright, so let's go ahead and wrap up, as always, with what have you learned, and we'll do it in the reverse of the order we did the mic checks, because reasons. So, Abe, what have you learned?
I learned that I'm on a boat full of superstitious. Well, not enough lunatics. That's a bit strong. But a bunch of superstitious people.
You're also a wizard, so
hey,
you're not
listen,
exactly the voice of science and reason. You shoot lightning out of your fingertips because reasons.
Don't worry about it. Oh, fine.
Alright.
Oh, fine.
So, what did PPOP learn?
Well, right at the end, specifically, PPOP learned how close not to get to the freaking whirlpool.
Yep.
And also learned that piracy is a fun career that should be aspired to.
Exactly. So that's where we're actually going to head, is you guys are going to start like a pirate nation.
There we go.
We're just coming back to the My Little Pirates all over again.
We're gonna be the pirate lord.
You know, considering this may or may not be like a title you're inventing, you can totally call yourself whatever you want. Alright, and what about Manawanui? Or not Manawanui, Akalupu. You lovable lug.
Akalupu learned that glowing purple fish don't taste good, and that he can breathe underwater sometimes.
You just have to have PPOP up there just blowing in the horn every minute. You're good to go.
Basically. And he may or may not have embellished his greatness and usefulness in the stories he tells in the future.
Oh yes, I imagine so. Alrighty, well thanks everyone for joining me. I hope you had a great time, and I will see you all in the next game. Bye!
Bye.